Well, welcome back to another daily devotion. I'm Pastor Roy here at Woodlawn Christian Church in Lake City, Iowa, and this devotion is for Wednesday, October 5th of 2022. We are in the second chapter of the book of Hebrews, and today we're going to talk about verses 5 to 8 in the second chapter. I thought about adding verse 9, but I kind of decided that's a transition verse, depending on how you look at it. But we'll talk about that. But I decided to leave that for the chunk we deal with tomorrow for Thursday, October 6th. So today's verses, it's 5 to 8. So, and we just got done with that kind of an interruption where the author of Hebrews threw in there the warning to pay attention. And now we switch to this exaltation. All right? So let's look at verses 5 to 8 today. For it was not to angels that God subjected the world to come, of which we are speaking. It has been testified somewhere. What is man that thou art mindful of him? Or the Son of Man that thou carest for him? Thou didst make him a little while lower than the angels. Thou hast crowned him with glory and honor, putting everything in subjection under his feet. Now, in putting everything in subjection to him, he left nothing outside his control. As it is, we do not yet see everything in subjection to him. Okay, now here the author of Hebrews is quoting Psalm 8. Now, Psalm 8, it's pretty clear that he's talking about humans in Psalm 8. Here we want to retroject back upon it when he says the Son of Man, but that is a way of talking about humans as well. It's a little confusing since Jesus always called himself the Son of Man. So there's that question mark about whether this is about Jesus or it's about humans. And there are scholars on both sides of that argument. If I were to have read this in the NIV, it would have said, what is mankind that thou art mindful of them? And it would be mankind and them rather than man and him in different translations. And it's about 50-50 roughly that you have this division of which way they've translated this, because it can be translated both ways. But both ways, one way seems to give us an idea, more of an idea that it's Jesus, and one seems to give us more of an idea that it's humans. I think it's really both, as I tend to want to be in the middle. So I think it can be both in some ways. But what is humankind? That even cares about us. Why would God even care about us? Why would He send His Son into the world to die for us, to suffer for us? What are we, and what is He that He has made this world? Remember the creation story. That all creation is subject in the garden to the man, to Adam and Eve. And of course, the original sin, the fallenness of the world, and so we have this period of time where there's chaos in the world, if we want to look at it that way. But in time, Jesus will come again, and all will be subject to Him. Right now, we don't look at it as everything's not in perfect order because we have evil in the world, and so we can't apply this right now to Jesus either. It is a little bit. There is some end times undertone through this. That in time, we will see everything subjected to Jesus. And there, I think the author's making a shift, and that shift becomes a little more apparent in verse 9. But I've decided to leave 9 for tomorrow. But it's, I think the one thing that we can walk away from this with is that what is mankind, that God is mindful of them. And we should be humble. Our humility needs to be first and foremost that God would do that for us, that He would put us in this position, because we are a little higher than the angels in God's ranking of what He is caring about. The angels are here to serve and to care for us and to fight for us and all of that. So that's an interesting concept, as these supernatural beings, but God cares for us more. That's again humbling, if nothing else. So I think that's what I've got for you today. Just a short one today. Got a lot going on here with some things going on with other projects. So I'm going to let you go for today. We'll pick up in verse 9 tomorrow. And we'll talk a little more about that shift in whether he's talking about human beings or he's talking about Christ himself. All right. With that, I'll let you go. Have a blessed day. And please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. We'll see you all later. Take care.